Republicans. That's the home I was raised in. We were pro-Reagan, woo!
Okay.
And growing up, and I got a lot of my values from them. And then I started doing more activism. And my mom said, "You've changed." And I said, "I feel like I'm putting your values into action. You said, if you're not part of the solution, you must be part of the problem. You said, so I'm trying to address problems. You said, do unto others as you would have done unto you. So I'm doing that. I want to be treated with respect. I'm trying to create a world of respect." So, our real agenda is to really help Michigan as a state live a life that's more fair and more safe for everyone in Michigan, to live up to its promise.
What can we all do? Number one, to educate ourselves about these issues. And then two, if somebody feels inclined to become active, what do you recommend they do?
Yeah, well, the first thing to do, if you are LGBT, the first thing, if you are in a place where you can do this, you have to come out. You just got to come out. Especially if you live in public life, if you, are professional and have your own income, if you are safe, in a place where you're safe and you won't be subjected to violence, you've got to come out, because that was a big change for you. That's a big change for everybody as we come out. That's the number one most important thing you can do. And if you're an ally, or if you're not LGBT, you know somebody who is, be supportive of them, And if you ever hear anti-LGBT sentiment in your company, right? Just like as a white person, I'm more likely to hear racist crap go on.
Right. I bet you heard a lot of it.
I've heard a lot of it.
Right.
You got to call people out on it right then and say, "Hey, that's hurtful to somebody I know and care about.
Right.
Or that's not the life I want to."
And I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
Right. I'm not going to let you get away with that.
I'm not going to let you get away with that. That's right. So, if you want to do that day in and day out, you can do that. If you see somebody being mistreated, if you know you have a colleague who's not being paid as much as you or promoted because they happen to be LGBT, stand up for that person. That means a lot. If you want to go further than that, call us at Equality Michigan. Actually, you can call our office. I'll just give the number for Equality Michigan.
Great.
It's 313-537-7000. You want to call us up and tell us you want to volunteer. We'll help you out. And one thing that's happening around the state right now, there's a lot of cities and townships that are passing non-discrimination ordinances. And sometimes it's just local citizens that get together and say, "I want my city to stand up against discrimination." So call us. We'll help you do a non-discrimination ordinance in your city. Or you want to volunteer?
I understand that coming out is easier said than done for a lot of people.
That's true.
If someone is a homosexual or lesbian and they want to come out, but they're struggling to do so, do you help them? Can they call you and say, "I want to come out, but I don't know how"?
Well, if that's the case, if that's the situation, you should reach out to Affirmations. Affirmations is the big LGBT community center. It's located in Ferndale. They cover the whole greater Detroit area. Or you should meet with my co-host on the agenda, Curtis Lipscomb at LGBT Detroit. So LGBT Detroit is located in Detroit, in the city limits. They have their own building. They have meetings. They have support groups. And so you should contact them. Or like I said, Affirmations in Ferndale. They also have support groups called Coming Out Over Coffee.
Right.
Where you can get together and talk.
How do they help one who wants to come out?
So they have a discussion group where everybody gets together and just facilitate, what would it be like? What would it mean? How would you do it? What are you afraid of? What do you think the worst case scenario is going to be? Can we talk through it? Talk to other people who have gone through this and how they navigated it, Go and, take one tiny step towards coming out, and then come back next week and tell us how it went, and we'll, cheer you on. So you don't have to go through it alone. You can have a group of people telling you, you can do this.
Fantastic. Hey, Juwan, do we have any callers on the line back there? Let's go to Terrence right now. Hey, Terrence, thanks for calling. You're on with Steph White and Cliff Russell. We're broadcasting live from the 2018 North American International Auto Show.
Hey, Cliff, how you doing, man?
Real good.
Hey, look, first of all, I want to say a couple of things. I respect your show, and I always will.
Thank you.
Yesterday when we were talking about the Titans, man, you brought out some good points with all those shooters they got.
Right.
And I wanted to ask your opinion. Do you think Bakari Alexander is going to resign, or he's going to get fired? And then, on the topic you're talking about now, Chris, I'm going to be respectful, and I'm going to respect your show, and to each his own what they do. But I have a problem with one thing.
Well, I tell you what, before you get to the problem, let me give you a quick answer to your first question. And that is, I don't think he's going to retire. I don't think he's going to be fired. I think he's going to be there for a little while longer at least.
Okay. Okay, because there ain't no way the Titans should have the record that they have with all that talent.
I would agree, but they've hit some major speed bumps, and I just believe he's going to be there. I think they're going to give him an opportunity to, implement his program and try to put a team together.
Okay, and Cliff, one thing that amazes me, I went past Callahan Hall when they played OU. Do you know how that place was rocked if the Titans were winning, with them having a rivalry with Oakland University right in the middle of Detroit, man? I remember, and you probably do, when they had Terry Tyler and Earl Puritan and all these guys. Can you imagine a rivalry like that, man, if they were winning? John Long?
You know what? See, you probably remember when I do. I remember when you went down to Callahan Hall, you saw Terry Tyler, you saw John Long, you saw Earl Puritan, you saw Terry Durod. I remember I played against those guys at Wayne State. And so I remember playing against them. But even before that, I remember Cookie Marsh. I remember Gerald Smith. I remember Bill Pleas. And you're right, Detroit basketball used to be the place that the Hoop fans went to go see college basketball in Detroit. And I think that they would like to recapture that. It's probably harder to do now than it used to be, although it was never easy. And I'm still optimistic that Bakari and his staff and his recruiting abilities is going to be able to recreate some excitement down in Callahan Hall.
Yeah,
so
I think they can do it. Now, Cliff, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get off the subject. But it's one problem. Jesus owns whatever you want to do. Don't try to force a lifestyle on me. But the problem I have is when people try to put all this stuff out in the forefront, prime-time TV, in the schools. Why? Why put this stuff to the forefront? To each his own. Answer that question for me, please.
You know what? I appreciate the call a lot. I always appreciate your calls a lot. I think that Steph is probably better equipped to answer that question.
That's right.
Than I am. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think what you're calling put out in the forefront is what I would call stop being shamed. I'm not ashamed of who I am. We want all the kids who need to be known that they're supported and loved. We need to make sure it's right out there that everybody supports you and we're all part of this society. So, that's why it's important for everyone to know there are gay people. We support gay people, and that's probably what you're thinking of when you say put it out there in the forefront. Is that right?
I think he's gone. But there's a lot of people, though,
That's right.
who believe that the Bible and religion speaks against homosexuality.
Right.
That you're not necessarily an evil person, but what you're doing is sin. And therefore, it is against the will of God, and it is bad and wrong. You've heard that probably every day.
Luckily.
How do you respond to someone who says, you know what, I'm not opposed to you personally, but I just think it's against God's will?
Sure. Well, I think everybody's entitled to. I respect people's religious beliefs, and I'm not here to argue with anybody's, deeply held religious beliefs. I respect that. I want everybody to respect me just the same. Not every Christian interprets the Bible that way, and I'm not a biblical scholar, but I will definitely. I'll definitely say that there's a lot of different interpretations in the Bible about what it says about LGBT people. Well, it doesn't say anything about trans folks, and of course, it doesn't say anything about gay folks in the New Testament. Jesus never talked about it. But let's just set that aside. We're all allowed to have our beliefs. We all have equal share to this society. So, we can come up with laws that are respectful of everyone. It's okay. You can hold those beliefs.
Right.
I still can be allowed to rent an apartment.
Right. And I can say this, too. I have known people who have used the Bible to say that African Americans were inferior.
For sure.
The curse of Ham.
Yeah.
And some other things that I've heard about. And so I think we'll deal with that at some other time. We got a couple of minutes left. And I'm going to give that time to you,
All right.
Steph. Anything